Hot Lit Light Installers. LSU takes down South Carolina 8-1, evens up the series. All-important rubber match set for Saturday at 2 p.m. We'll get to that, obviously, here in the future. That's a little bit more like it. I'm glad I don't have to come on here and yell like an idiot tonight, because that was no fun for me at all. And to be honest, it probably wasn't very fun for my neighbors at 9:30 at night either. But you know what? I don't really care. But I'm glad I don't have to do that tonight. Smash the like button. Again, much more like it there. There were some things, in there that, you'd like to see executed a little bit better. But overall, you look at it, 8 runs, 10 hits for LSU, no errors. So they played clean ball on the field, which is important. Cade Anderson was awesome. He gave you 6 2/3. Last night we said, man, if he could give you 7, that'd be great. And he almost did. He just ran out of gas at the end there. But Casey Evans came in a really big spot. I thought Cade Anderson was awesome and tough and gritty. He looked healthy. 9 punch-outs. He was awesome tonight, and that's great. So exactly what you needed from him. We'll get a little bit deeper into the outing there. And then the 2, 3, and 4 in the lineup tonight were just absolutely in fuego. I mean, before Jake Brown came off the bench in the 9th inning and roped a double on the first pitch he saw, because, of course, Jake Brown came off the bench and roped the double, into the corner on the first pitch. But anyway, before that, the 2, 3, and 4 hitters in your lineup had scored all 7 of your runs. Jared Jones was awesome, and Jared Jones has had an incredible weekend this series. He's taken really one bat at bat that I can think of. It was in the 7th inning Thursday night. He went down, I think, on 4 pitches with 2 guys on. That was upsetting and disappointing. But other than that, he has been awesome. Reached base all 5 times tonight, 3 for 3, 2 homers, and both of them were huge. Obviously, the first solo shot gives you the lead. The 2-run shot in the 8th gives you the insurance run, and that one came on an 0-2 pitch, and he just absolutely launched it. And then you look at the 2 walks that he drew, specifically the second one, because forgive me, I don't remember the inning it was in, but it was the second walk. He was down 0-2 and worked the walk. The walk he had in the first was great too. So Jared was awesome. Dickinson has been one of your hottest hitters really the last 2 weeks. He had an awesome week against Arkansas, and he has just followed that up again here against South Carolina. And then Ethan Fry. Ethan Fry's been really good for you the last, call it 3 weeks, quite honestly. He was great against Texas A&M. He was great against Arkansas. He's been great against South Carolina. 3 more hits for him, a home run. That was his first home run away from Alex Box Stadium this season. So that was really cool to see. And again, at a big time, that gave you the insurance you needed, or not insurance, but it gave you a crooked number there in the 3rd, which was massive, because LSU crooked numbers a night ago kind of eluded them at times. So that was a big takeaway for me on offense. Obviously, those 3 were fantastic, but the crooked numbers, you scored in 4 innings, you got 8 runs on the road, that's important. And that part of the lineup gave problems every day. They scored 7 of your 8 runs. They had 8 of your 10 hits, and they drove in 5 of your 8 runs. They were awesome. So man, that's huge. A little bit more on Cade Anderson. I thought he was exceptional, as we said off the top. I want to start in the 3rd inning with him, though, because that was a really big moment. LSU had taken the 3-0 lead, obviously, right in the top half on the 2 homers by Jones and Fry. And then Scobie, first pitch he sees, hunts fastball, doubles. Then, man, you get the next kid down 1-2. He hangs a breaker, and you end up with the single, and it runs in on, 6 pitches that he had thrown. Then you walk Jackson, who's the leadoff guy. So you have a run in, 1st and 2nd, nobody out, and here comes Hall and Kazmir. And how much did we talk about those 2 guys, right? You're going to have to limit them. And credit Cade Anderson. He's been really good all year with runners on base, and he was again in that moment. Great mound visit from Nate Yeske there, and he gets the fielder's choice, gets hauled down 0-2, gets the fielder's choice, then gets Kazmar to fly out, and then strikes out Kennedy Jones. That's a huge start by that inning because that was really South Carolina's one major chance to get into that, to make that a ball game tonight. They had other threats, but that was a major chance there, and Cade Anderson nullified it, and that was huge. The other one that I'd point to for him really was in the sixth. You get the first two guys out, then you have the strikeout and the wild pitch, and Kennedy Jones reaches, so now you have to get 6 outs in the inning, and you immediately give up the single after that, but then you get Hollins. So that was big too, because at that point, you were starting to get a little antsy because LSU's only up 4, and 4 is right where, a team wants to be trailing. That's kind of your last, spot there, right? Where, man, if you load the bases, one swing can still tie the game for you in that spot. So that was a big moment for Anderson too. But after he gave up the run in the third, he retired, I think, 11 or 12 in a row. It's interesting. He settled in, got into a little bit of trouble. And then in the seventh, that was a big spot too, because he gets the first 2, and then he tired out. He tired out, walks back-to-back guys, but Kason Evans comes in against Nathan Hall, huge spot, gets the out, and then, of course, LSU would tack on the 2 in the 8th and the 1 in the 9th, and you get there. Kason Evans, I thought pitched well. I didn't think he was exceptional, but he pitched well, which was great. Great to see. For Evans is interesting. 27 pitches. I was a little surprised they actually brought him back out. That they didn't bring him back out, because 27 pitches. He has not pitched on back-to-back days all season long. So that's going to be interesting when you got to 27. Like, well, you might as well just burn him because you've done it. But they didn't, and we'll talk about what that means later on. But the biggest thing he did for you was come in and get Nathan Hall out, and preserve the lead there. And then Grant Fontenot, y'all, liked that a lot, actually. That's 3 really good outings in a row for Grant Fontenot. Again, the one against Tennessee was mop-up duty, but he dominated that lineup. A week ago against South Carolina, against Arkansas, LSU was down, and they again, kind of mop-up duty, but he settled that lineup down as well. And then tonight against South Carolina, that was awesome too. So, Matt, just curious if they maybe have something. Curious if they maybe they found something. I don't know. I don't want to say they have. Grant Fontenot has not thrown a lot of innings this year, and early in the year it was rough. So, but that's 3 really good in a row, and I'm curious there, because again, you're looking for someone to emerge, especially with Connor Ware's continued struggles. You're looking for something there. But overall, y'all, that's a really nice win for them. That is good. They're not done. I mean, they have to go in tomorrow, and that's going to be very interesting to watch, to see how they do it. You'll need a great start from Anthony Heinsohn, and we'll get into tomorrow a little bit more momentarily. I want to talk about what else is all on the line tomorrow as well, why it's so important that they win. But that's kind of what I have on the game tonight. I mean, the middle of the order was awesome. They came through, well, not really the middle. I mean, 2, 3, and 4. They came through every time you needed them to do it. You played the clean defense. Cade Anderson was awesome. He looked healthy. That was the biggest thing. I will be honest, I wasn't really too worried about that. Because I'm so confident in the way that this team and this staff, handles pitchers, that if Cade Anderson even had a slight hint of something wrong, they would not have thrown him. Like, they would not have put him in that position. So I really wasn't overly concerned about that, and he was awesome. So very, very good from Cade Anderson, and perfect, man. He's on track, and you move forward with him in the postseason. But tomorrow's going to be a big one, so that's a nice win for them. They did a lot of things well. A couple things you'd still like to clean up, but all in all, really nice game, and right when you needed it most. So that was a good response. Response was going to be key in that, because you were awful a night ago. I mean, I don't even really want to talk about it. I don't want to relive it. You were awful a night ago, and that was arguably the worst game they've played in a massive spot, and that was rough. Okay, let me remind you about Gotlit Light Installers. We'll talk about tomorrow a little bit and take some questions. GotlitLights.com. Go there. You get your quote. You can get the quote for the permanent outdoor landscape lighting that they now offer, your front yard flower beds or your backyard patio and pool area. Maybe you just want to illuminate the trees in your front yard. You can maybe have some nice oaks in your front. You want to light those up. Gotlit Lights can handle that for you. Custom design, anything to meet your specifications, they've got you covered. Gotlit Light Installers, also temporary outdoor lighting available as well for your weddings, your wedding receptions, any of your private events, an anniversary, a birthday party, graduation parties. Hopefully you're not planning one of those this late, but if you are, you need lights. Gotlit Light Installers, they have you covered with that as well. Gotlit Lights, GotlitLights.com. Tell them you heard it right here on Musso at the Box. All righty then. Let's talk Game 3. For South Carolina, you're most likely going to see Dylan Eskew. He is one of their better arms. He's had his struggles like everyone this year, but he's a veteran on that team. He's left over from last year's squad as well. He had some injury earlier in the year that kept him out, but he's back now, and he's really been a Game 3 starter for them. You haven't seen him in the series, so that's what I'm expecting to see. As far as what South Carolina has left in their bullpen, they have more than you might think. Now, the key deal there is their bullpen's not good. And when I said LSU still had a few things to improve on in tonight, down the stretch where they hit the Carolina bullpen, that was encouraging, because up to that point, they had not done that well. And this is just not a very good bullpen. Like, Caleb Jones came in with an ERA in the SEC of 9. So, I don't believe you got a run off of him tonight. So like that's what I mean. Yeah, you didn't. But you got to Becker, who's one of their better guys, and he should be used up now. Becker should be done. He threw last night a little bit and threw 30 tonight. Caleb Jones threw 36, so he's done. Becker a night ago. Bear with me. I'm trying to get the pitch count for him from a night ago. And my laptop's moving slow. Here we go. Becker, he threw 4. Okay, that's right. He came in and faced one batter. But all in all, that's 40 pitches for him, or 34 pitches for him in 2 days. Can't imagine you'll really see him back, which is a good thing. But you haven't seen Parker Merlot, who is one of their better guys that they trust an awful lot. We mentioned Eskew. And also Brendan Sweeney. You haven't seen him yet either. He hasn't been very successful, but they've gone to him an awful lot. 10 appearances, which he was tied for the lead in conference playing appearances with 10 coming into this weekend. So they have a few of their guys that they trust left. But LSU, you have Anthony Hyanson going, and you should feel really, really good about that. And I think all of us do. On normal rest. He's on normal rest. He's on normal rest. God, them pitching off threw me for a loop. He's on normal rest. He's been absolutely nails the last 3 times out. He's been incredible. And you feel really good about that. In your bullpen, you're going to need him to be really good, because the guys you have not seen yet are Maverick Rizzi, that can give you a lane. And then Jacob Myers, who's really been a one-inning type guy. Cooper Williams, DJ Primo, who have been your matchup lefties. And that's really it for guys that you count on this team. So what's going to happen is you're going to have Chase Shores, who threw north of 30 pitches a night ago and was awesome. Shores was 31 pitches. You might need him to come back and give you something tomorrow. You look at Zach Cowan through 34. You might need him to come back and give you something. Kason Evans, who threw 27 on Friday night, you might need him to come back and give you something. One of those guys is going to have to step up for you in game number 3. Because short of Anthony Ianson giving you 7, 8 innings, and LSU scoring a lot, and I'm going to talk about that, it's going to be hard for you to get through Saturday's game, without using Evans or Shores or Cowan once again. So that's going to be really, really interesting to see. Let's do some quick math here. Not with SEC win total. LSU's at 18. You win one more, you have nothing to worry about going to Hoover. I saw DJ Trauma with a super chat, $5. Appreciate you as always, DJ. Yeah, I mean, he's correct. I'm not gonna say you don't host a super without a win tomorrow. You don't have it locked up, right? Okay, there you go. If you lose, you're gonna have to win in the SEC tournament a little bit. Yes, correct. You're at 18 conference wins. It's a good place to be. What I really want to look at right now, though, is the top 4 and getting the double bye in the SEC tournament, because that's massively, massively important as well. And my laptop is just giving me a middle finger and saying you're not going to do any of that because it just wants to move incredibly slow. So let's go ahead and talk about some of y'all's questions while this, wow, thank you, laptop, awesome. Let's see, I saw a few. Jeffrey Wilbanks, with Derek Curriel struggling at the plate, would moving Fry to lead off to change things up make sense? Or is his power too valuable behind Bear and Danny? I would not move Fry. And I did want to talk about Derek Curriel because he didn't have a great night tonight. He was 0 for. That snapped another reached base streak game for him. He's now failed to reach base in just 4 games this season. So that's part of it, of why I still like having him in the leadoff spot. I'm actually glad you brought this up. I hope Timothy Cannon's listening, because I actually thought about this more, and I'd love to revisit the conversation. But anyway, so I like that aspect of it from Derek Curriel still, that he's still getting on base tonight notwithstanding. But what I really like tonight, he faced majority lefties, and he didn't punch out. So I'm sorry, he punched out one time. I'm hoping that is him locking back in, because Derek Curriel at times this year has absolutely smashed lefties. Like, this narrative that he can't hit lefties isn't true. Is he struggling right now? Absolutely. But Derek Curriel wasn't hitting 380 on the year just off of righties. Like, he had taken some really good ABs off of lefties. So I'm hoping him putting the ball in play, and especially that last one he hit off a Becker that almost left the yard. I'm hoping that is, better going forward for him. That it's starting to click again for him. As far as moving him out of the leadoff spot, if you're going to do that, and I don't want you to, but if you're going to do that, that goes back to the conversation we were having with Timothy a night ago about Chris Stanfield. Like, that would be the move that you make. The reason, aside from just my affinity for Curriel, Jones, Dickinson, and how well that's gone for LSU at times this year, is Stanfield provides you length in that lineup down there at the bottom. And when LSU's been struggling, the length has been the length has been one of your still strengths because of Stanfield. Stanfield has started many a rally at the bottom of the order, even when you're struggling. Like, go back to that Tennessee series. The Tennessee series stands out. The Alabama series definitely stands out in that regard. So that's really, really why I like it, is it gives you length. Having to go through a guy in the 9 hole at 3, hitting over 300, your leading hitter, And I get wanting to get him another at bat, all of that. I understand. And like, that does make sense to me. But if you remove him, you don't have another guy to plug in down there that's going to be that successful and give you that much length. So to answer your question, Jeffrey, really long way to do it, but to answer it is, if you make a move there, it would have to be Stanfield. I like Fry where he is. For the power, for the protection that he provides, Curiel and Jones, all of that. I really like that. This website not working is driving me insane. Okay, here we go. We have a little bit of action now, except on that one. Okay, this is going to be the easy way to do it. We'll just use one page. Let's see. Auburn is getting destroyed. Where's Vanderbilt? Okay, Vanderbilt won and took that series. So Vanderbilt sweeps tomorrow. They get to 19, and they're a lock for a national seed. What happened with... Okay, Georgia lost and got shut out. That's big. And then... Okay. So... Texas doesn't really matter what Texas has done. They've dominated. They're a lock, and they're getting in with. Oh my gosh! Why is this website sucking so bad? Said I wasn't gonna yell tonight. I just want to double check the math, but rough math in my head would mean with Georgia losing with Okay, here we go. Yes. Let's go. Come on. I'm going to get to some of y'all's questions, I promise. Rough math, I would say, like LSU, you win tomorrow, you get the double bye. You win, you finish in the top 4. I really could have done without the Vanderbilt result. I'm not going to lie. I mean, Kentucky gagged away the game on Thursday night. I really could have done without that result. But you ended up with it. So it should be. This is just a pain in a complete pain in the ass that this is not working right now. Y'all smash the like button, please, if you have not done so already. That's greatly appreciated. Please subscribe to the podcast as well. On the YouTube channel and on your favorite podcast. That's greatly appreciated as well. And yeah, that just didn't go like I wanted it to. I'm guessing, just based off the rough math in my head without actually being able to confirm it with the standings, you win, you secure the double bye, and that's huge. I don't want LSU to play on Wednesday, and you shouldn't either. The other thing is, you win, you lock up the national seed. So it's very important. Very important. That was a complete ridiculous, that was horrible. That was really wild and everything. So, all right, questions. Y'all, let's get a few questions in, then we're going to wrap up. Stupid website. Any more questions? If you put one in and I missed it, just go back, please. Andrew Sapp, if it's close, who do you put in to close the game in the 9th? I'm going Chase Shores. I'm going Chase Shores in that role, actually, because he pitched twice a week ago and was awesome in the second time. So I have much more confidence there. We have not seen Case and Evans pitch twice in a weekend yet this year, and especially on back-to-back days. So that'd be a first. Zach Cowan twice in a weekend has been less sharp. So I'm going with Shores there, actually, as my answer. That's a really good question, Andrew. I like that. Tyler Harp, why is Brown not starting every day? Okay, let's have this convo one more time. When you look at Jake Brown's splits, he is hitting like 205-ish or something against left-handed pitchers. That's why. Like, that's why. That's what Jay is doing. I'm here to tell you, I don't care. Like, I don't care. Jake Brown is a good hitter. He's a great hitter. And great hitters hit. Like, put him in there, let him see the lefties more, let him adjust, and let him get better at it. And Jake Brown hit lefties pretty okay a year ago. Like, it's in there. That's a guy who can just immediately change the game in so many different ways for you. And it blows my mind at this point in the year that we're still doing this platoon thing. Like, Derek Carriel is struggling mightily against left-handed pitchers right now. He ain't coming out of the lineup. Like, Steven Milam's hitting, like, he might be back below 200 in conference play right now. He ain't coming out of the lineup. Why is Jake Brown coming out of the lineup? It's maddening. I'm very, very just over having that conversation, but that's why. His splits against lefties is why. And I think it's ridiculous. Cheddar Goblin, hilarious still. Should we be cautious in pitching Cowan again tomorrow because of their scouting? Does he only have those? No, he doesn't only have those two pitches. Those are just his two best pitches. He's got a little curveball that he could throw in there too. But yeah, I think you're cautious on doing that because, because of the struggles more often than anything. I mean, like, the second time in a weekend for him recently has not been very good. Like, it's been iffy. So, like I said, I would go Shores. If you're in a close game tomorrow, in the 9th, I would go Shores. I'm hoping they're not in a close game tomorrow. Like, I don't really love the way either team sets up bullpen-wise, but you have such a decided advantage on the mound that you should do it. And the most important thing for LSU tomorrow is to do something they haven't done all weekend. And that is bludgeon this team offensively like everyone else has done and don't let them up for air at all. Like, in a perfect world, this is the perfect world scenario for you Saturday for LSU. LSU run rule South Carolina and Anthony Ianson pitches all 7 innings. That is the perfect world scenario for what happens in Game 3. I don't think that's likely for that perfect scenario to play out. But I think LSU has a great chance of winning. Which makes, again, Thursday night all the more frustrating because, anyway. Look, the standing's loaded, and that is correct. If LSU wins tomorrow, they secure a double bye. Awesome. And a top 8 national seed. And that's what you're after. And that's great. And you'd be the 2 or the 3. So you'd play on Friday, which is great. Any more questions? Okay. That's going to wrap it up then. Y'all smash the like button on your way out, please. Got lit light installers. Please share. All of those things. Very important and very much appreciated. And be here next time for more on Musso at the Box.